Hey everyone, and welcome back. So I know I'm a little bit overdue for a video. I'm going to get to that. I'll cover that at the end of the video. So several announcements. Obviously, I'm playing a little bit of catch up since a couple announcements were made, but boy, is there a lot to get to here. I don't want this video to be 40 minutes long, so let me just jump right into it and maybe move along a little quick. So let's do Vinegar Syndrome first. So I know I'm missing one title that was announced, and I apologize because obviously they've taken the site, not the site, but the November titles are currently not available. They'll be back up in January. But I know of the two main ones that were announced. So the first one is a 4K release of the movie Sliver, the Sharon Stone film, directed by Philip Noyce. Has a new transfer from the original 35mm camera negative, will be in Dolby Vision, which is not very common for Vinegar Syndrome, so that's a good sign. Will be a 2-disc set, a 4K disc, and include a Blu-ray. Now the included Blu-ray will be region A locked, so just heads up on that, because I think it's a Paramount title, so that's why it's going to be region locked. Obviously, the 4K region free, and it does have a couple of extras. I think some of these are ported over from I think an older release, but I'm not 100% sure which ones of these are new and old. So I do apologize. Oh, actually, almost forgot. So it is the unrated version, not the R-rated cut, that is on this release, which is nice. I almost forgot to mention that. So let's just dive right in. The extras, including The Skinny on Sliver, an interview with director Philip Noyce, Taking Chances on Sliver, an interview with screenwriter Joe Esterhaus, Remarks on Sliver, an interview with actress Colleen Camp, archival electronic press kit, including interviews with the main cast, behind-the-scenes footage from the EPK, alternate scenes from the R-rated cut, still gallery, video trailer, TV spots. So that was one of the secret titles, and then the other one, which obviously is the main one, and I know we've been talking about this, or the possibility for, God, you know what, for a year at least, and that is indeed a 4K release of The Keep, the Michael Mann's The Keep from 1983, and it will be a 2-disc set, 4K, and included Blu-ray. Blu-ray will be region A locked because I'm almost positive this is a Paramount title. Has a new transfer from the original camera negative, also in Dolby Vision, and I do have to say, which is, I'm sure is obvious, this is the original theatrical cut. It's not the longer cut, which I kept hearing stories that yes, it was being worked on, but maybe it wasn't. If it is being worked on, it's obviously not finished. So this is only the theatrical cut, which does run 96 minutes. But I'm happy to get it either way. So, and as far as the extras go, it does have commentary track with film historian Matthew Asbury Gear, Out of the Darkness, an interview with producer Gene Kirkwood, Something is Murdering My Men, an interview with The Keep author F. Paul Wilson, What He Left Unfinished, an interview with visual effects producer Peter Curran, An Evil Most Ancient, an interview with makeup effects designer Nick Maley, Other Sounds for Other Worlds, interview with co-composer Johannes Schmoling, I, Molasar, an interview with actor Michael Carter, still gallery, the original theatrical trailer, and a TV spot. So after how many, say years, decades, because did this even get a DVD release? I don't know. I know some of you guys know. I don't even know if it even got a DVD release. Maybe it did. At least here in the States, anyway. So yeah, that is finally coming. Now, for both of these from Vinegar Syndrome, so obviously I know they're not on the site for the month of December. They'll be back in January, assuming they haven't sold out. But don't worry, even if some of these are sold out, there will be regular releases that you can get from most, main retailers. The only thing you won't get is the exclusive slipcover. And the main reason why the site is down, which does happen every year, is obviously November is actually the last month that they have Vinegar Syndrome titles. And then in December, they don't offer any titles from them so that they can basically get everything shipped out. But it is partner labels month, so there are new titles in the partner labels. There's quite a few. I just recommend just go checking it out. And then the regular Vinegar Syndrome stuff will be back in January, and also the first week of January, the first full week, I believe. Although I do have to double check the dates. Maybe it is like right out of the gate. I don't remember, but that is going to be subscriber week, and that is obviously they'll have specials each day, if I remember correctly. And also, if you want to become a yearly subscriber, that is the only time you can. And I'm trying to figure out how I can swing it for next year. things are a little tight at the moment. All right, so we're going to do the Arrow titles first, and then we'll finish up with the Scream Factory titles. So we have the February titles from Arrow, and we have, let's see, how many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 titles. So I'm going to jump around just a little bit. A couple of these are specific to the UK or the US, so obviously I'll mention that. So let's do, I think it's 2 Blu-rays here, like Blu-ray only. So let's do those first. So first one is a Blu-ray for the UK only of the movie The Last Stop in Yuma County, retailing for £24.99. Now again, this is a Blu-ray, so most likely in UK only, so I'm going to assume it's region B locked. So again, is a Blu-ray, have 5.1 surround sound, and a couple of extras, including a commentary track with director Francis Gallupi and executive producer James Clays, commentary track with Francis Gallupi, and actors Jim Cummings and Jocelyn Donahue, commentary with Francis Gallupi, me and names, I swear, and cinematographer Mac Fiskin. Trust the Audience, a new interview with Francis Gallupi. Let's hope I don't see his name again, because boy, am I getting that wrong. Leave the Gun, Take the Rhubarb, a new video essay by film critic Matt Donato. Sell Your House, a making-of featurette. 3 screenplay to film comparisons, plus the trailer and image galleries. And I believe this is a newer film, isn't it? Let me double check. Yeah, 2023. And then the next Blu-ray coming to the UK, US, and Canada, so luckily we can all get it. So region locking does not matter. Is a double feature of A Certain Killer and A Killer's Key, 2 Japanese crime films, retailing for $39.99, set for February 11th. Oh, what was the other one? Sorry, the previous one was February 17th. Sorry about that. Yeah, Blu-ray release will be in the original Japanese mono, obviously with English subtitles, a new commentary track for both films by critic and Asian cinema expert Tony Raines, Definite Murderer, a brand new 30-minute introduction to the films by Japanese film scholar Mark Roberts, original trailers for both films, and an image gallery. So more Japanese films coming. Let's see, what year were these? 1967, so I assume that 67 for both. And again, that one is UK, US, and Canada. All right, now we're moving over to the 4K stuff. Where should we go? Because there's definitely some interesting ones here. Next up is a US-only title set for February 11th, retailing for $49.99 is a new 4K release of the movie Alice, Sweet Alice, filmed with Brooke Shields from 1976. Now, this is going to be a 4K only disc. There will not be a Blu-ray. Actually, didn't they already put this out on Blu-ray? That might be why. Anyway, as far as the 4K disc goes, it's got a 4K restoration by Arrow from the original camera negative. It has 3 versions of the film. One under the title Communion, which I guess is the original cut, then Alice, Sweet Alice, the theatrical cut, and then finally Holy Terror, which was a re-release. But I only have a runtime of 107 minutes, so they may not be cuts. Maybe they're just different titles. I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't know enough about the movie. I mean, I know of it, but this is going to be in the original mono. Has a new commentary track with Richard Harlan Smith, an archival one with the co-writer and director Alfred Soule and editor M. Edward Salyer. First Communion, Alfred Soule remembers Alice, Sweet Alice, looks back on his 1976 classic. Alice on My Mind, a brand new interview with composer Stephen Lawrence. In the Name of the Father, a brand new interview with actor Niles McMaster. Sweet Memories, Dante Tomaselli on Alice, Sweet Alice. Lost Childhood, the locations of Alice, Sweet Alice. A tour of the original Alice, Sweet Alice shooting locations hosted by author Michael Gingold. Deleted scenes, a split-screen version comparison, trailer, and TV spot, as well as an image gallery. And again, that is 4K only and is set for February 11th. All right, so we have 2 UK-only 4K titles, as well as one for all of us. I'm trying to think, which one should I do first? Actually, we're going to do this one first, because this is actually one I'm excited about. Coming, let's see, February 17th. retailing, it's UK only, I should say, sorry, it's UK only. It is a 4K only disc, retailing for £29.99, is Tobe Hooper's Lifeforce getting a 4K release. Now, this was obviously released on 4K from here in the States, anyway, from Scream Factory. And as I've had issues with that release, the transfer looked great, but obviously the 4K was only the theatrical cut, and the international cut, I think that's what it's called, was Blu-ray only. Well, Arrow comes to the rescue, at least partially, depending on where you live. So obviously I'm importing it. It does have a brand new 4K restoration by Arrow Films of the 116-minute international cut, plus one of the original theatrical cut, which runs 101 minutes. We'll have the original stereo mix, plus an optional 5.1 surround mix, and a Dolby Atmos mix for both cuts. So it's 2 discs, 2 4K discs. Disc one has the international cut on it, will be in Dolby Vision. Has commentary with Tobe Hooper, moderated by Tim Sullivan, commentary with visual effects artist Douglas Smith, moderated by Howard S. Berger. Another commentary track with makeup effects artist Nick Maley, moderated by Michael Felsher. Isolated music and effects track, Cannon Fodder, The Making of Lifeforce, an epic documentary, I'll just put it that way, there's a lot of people here. Space Vampires in London, an archival interview with Tobe Hooper. Dangerous Beauty, an archival interview with Mathilda May. Carlson's Curse, an archive interview with Steve Railsback, as well as a textless opening sequence and theatrical trailers. And then disc 2 has 4K of the theatrical cut, and does have a couple of interview outtakes from Electric Boogaloo talking about the film, documentary Electric Boogaloo, as well as a split screen comparison of the TV version. So luckily you can finally get the international version in 4K. Obviously it is UK only, so again, outside of the UK we will have to import it, but I'm more than happy to import. In fact, I actually already ordered it. I ordered it from Diabolic DVD. Can't wait to finally get the international cut in 4K. And it's, again, has a new transfer by Arrow, so it actually is going to be different than the transfer that's on the Scream Factory release. Or actually, I take that back. I think the theatrical cut is the same transfer, and the international cut is the only one that got the new one from Arrow. And again, that will be 4K only. Okay, almost done. The next one is UK only as well. There will be a 4K release and then a separate Blu-ray release. And speaking of Tobe Hooper, it is indeed Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, set for February 17th, retailing for £39.99. And this will be in one of their like kind of deluxe sets. And it will be a 2-disc set, depending on which version. Well, no, both of them will be 2-disc set. The 4K disc, obviously have a 4K disc, and then include a Blu-ray, which will have extras only, and then there'll be a separate Blu-ray release. And as some of you know, we did get this from Vinegar Syndrome 2 years ago, I think. And as far as I can tell, it is indeed the exact same transfer that was on the Vinegar Syndrome one. The only difference here, if I'm not mistaken, is the fact that it is in Dolby Vision. I don't believe the Vinegar Syndrome version was. And just like the Vinegar Syndrome one, it has the original 2.0 stereo theatrical mix. And it has, I'm trying to think, is any of this new? I don't think any of this is new, or am I wrong? I did try and do sort of a side-by-side, and I want to say the extras are basically the same, but if I remember correctly, I think there were 3 extras that were on the Vinegar Syndrome release that are not on here. I don't think they were like huge extras, but I do want to mention it. Obviously there's a ton here. Plus it's Arrow, so you get the deluxe packaging with, you know, those little extra bits, which I always love. And again, that is set for February 17th. And again, 4K release and a separate Blu-ray release. And it is UK only, so I'm assuming the Blu-rays will be region B locked. In fact, I would bet on it. Okay, almost done. Actually, literally almost done. We got one more and then just a couple from Scream and then we're done. So coming February 25th from Arrow, retailing for $64.99 is a 4K release of the movie Cruising, the William Friedkin film starring Al Pacino. And this is going to be UK, US, and Canada. Sorry about that. Now, they did already put this out on Blu-ray just semi-recently, 2 years ago, maybe. So there's no separate Blu-ray release. So, but it is going to be in, obviously, one of their deluxe sets as well. So I have a little mini booklet /book. but it is going to be a 2-disc set. So the first disc is the 4K disc. And then the second disc is a Blu-ray, but it only has the additional extras on it. It does not have the movie. But the film was restored from the original camera negative. Does have a 120-page book. Will be in Dolby Vision. Have 2 audio options, including the original mono, a stereo track, and a 5.1 surround track. And the 4K disc does have these extras on it, including 2 archival commentaries with Friedkin, 1 on his own, and then 1 moderated by Mark Kermode. A new commentary track featuring musicians involved with the soundtrack. I Want to Be the Curator, a new interview with actress Karen Allen, deleted scenes and alternative footage, on-set audio featuring the club scenes and protest coverage, censored material reels, theatrical trailer, teasers, and TV spots, and then the included Blu-ray has the rest of the extras, and I believe, is any of this new or just ported over from the original release? I think most of these are ported over, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, actually there are a couple new things here. So as far as the new stuff goes, it has Walking the Line, a new interview with actor, film consultant, and former police detective Randy Jurgensen. And I believe the only other new extra is Breaking the Codes, a brand new visual essay surrounding the Hanky Codes, featuring actor and writer David McGillivray. I hope I pronounced that right. This seems a little complicated for me. And then it looks like it just ports over all the rest of the extras from their previous Blu-ray release. And again, that is set for February 25th. So that wraps up the Arrow stuff for February. And now we move over to Scream Factory. There's actually not too many here, which is good because I don't want this video to be too long. So, all right, we're now at this February titles for Scream Factory. I'm sure most of you probably already know what they are, but I'm going to go through them real quick anyway, ending with obviously the one I'm most excited about. So first up, let's see. Let's do this one. So coming February 4th is a 4K release of the movie Sick, retailing for $39.98. Will be a 2-disc set, a 4K disc, and included Blu-ray. The included Blu-ray will be Region A locked. All of Shout and Scream Factory Blu-rays are always Region A locked. 4K region free, thank goodness. This is from 2023 and actually does have quite a few extras on it, including commentary track with film critic Alan Cerny, commentary with actors Gideon Adlon and Beth Millian, and a commentary track with director John Hyams and cinematographer Yaron Levy, and then disc 2, which also has the film and the commentary tracks, and then a couple of interviews, including one with actor Mark Menchaca, one with the visual effects artist J.D. McKee, one with the composer Nima Fakara, and then finally one with sound designer Sam Nakash. I hope I was close on a couple of those names. So that was set for February 4th. Now we move on to, which one should I do next? So we have now 2 Roger Corman films getting 4K upgrades. So the first one, coming February 18th, retailing for $39.98, is a 4K and with included Blu-ray release of the movie Humanoids from the Deep, and has a 4K restoration of both the theatrical and unrated cuts from the original camera negative. Will be in Dolby Vision, have the original 2.0 mono track, and a new commentary track with film historian Russell Dybal. And that's a 4K disc, and then the included Blu-ray, which also has the film, both cuts, as well as the commentary track, and then ports over some pre-existing stuff, including deleted scenes, trailers, TV radio spots, and a still gallery, plus an alternate opening title sequence. Leonard Maltin interviews Roger Corman on the making of the film, plus the making of Humanoids from the Deep, feature interviews with a ton of people, and more trailers, apparently. So, yeah, so more Roger Corman coming in 4K, which I am all for, and one more Roger Corman film is, coming February 11th, is Galaxy of Terror getting a 4K with included Blu-ray release, retailing for $39.98. Same thing, again, 2-disc set, 4K and the Blu-ray. And there's nothing new here. It just has a 4K restoration from the original Inner Positive, but will be in Dolby Vision, though. Have the original mono and just port over the commentary track with the cast and crew that I believe was on their Blu-ray release from a while back, plus a making of, theatrical trailers, TV spots, and photo galleries. So again, that is due out February 11th. And then finally, we get to the one obviously I'm most excited about, which I'm sure will surprise none of you. Coming February 11th as well, retailing for $39.98, is a 4K with included Blu-ray release of John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars, which I'm very excited about to get more John Carpenter stuff in 4K. And I always felt this was bit of one of his more underrated films. I think because I think like a lot of people, when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, it's okay. And then I saw it again a little bit later, and it was just like, it's almost like I'm watching a different movie. I was like, I wouldn't say I loved it, but I liked it a lot. Let me put it that way. Anyway, let's just quickly get to the details. So it does have a new 4K transfer from the original camera negative. Will be in Dolby Vision. We'll have a 5.1 surround and a 2.0 stereo track. Does port over the pre-existing commentary track with John Carpenter and actor Natasha Henstridge. And that's a 4K disc and the included Blu-ray, which also has the film with the new transfer and the commentary track. And does have a new extra, which is Assault on Outpost 13, scoring Ghosts of Mars, interview with film music historian Daniel Schweiger. And then these other ones I believe were on the previous release from a while ago, including Red Desert Nights, making of Ghosts of Mars, scoring Ghosts of Mars special effects deconstruction, as well as the original theatrical trailer. So obviously I'm very happy to always get more John Carpenter. And there is one other option for Ghosts of Mars, but it is a Shout Factory website exclusive, retailing for $39.98, and they've done this for a couple things. You can, obviously you get the film, but you also get a alternative slipcover and poster with new artwork on it. So you get the film with the slipcover of the original one sheet, and then the additional slipcover with new artwork, and then posters for each. And again, it is the same release, and it is a Shout Factory website exclusive. So I believe that's everything. I hope so. I think this video is going to be long enough as it is, but I definitely wanted to obviously cover all this stuff. I did miss out. Unfortunately, I did have a family emergency last week, which is why there was no video. In fact, I even had to delay Thanksgiving a couple days. I actually ended up celebrating it on Saturday instead of Thursday. Glad to be back and to be able to cover all this stuff. So I'm sure there's a lot more that's going to be coming up. Well, I mean, we are approaching the end of the year, but there should be a couple more things. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. If you have any questions, let me know. Definitely let me know your thoughts on all of these announcements. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.